So do you think that the action New Zealand's government is currently taking on climate change is sufficient and does justice to our future generations? And if not, what goals and actions would you push for in the next term if elected?
I think our current approach to carbon emissions, to greenhouse gas emissions, and to mitigation of climate change is completely inadequate, and the law in the area is not fit for purpose. Now, if you look at a lot of the areas of focus in the policy, there's a lot of talk around transport, but there are other industries, for instance, which are responsible for the vast majority of our emissions. Above or around 50% of our greenhouse gas emissions come from agriculture, so probably more correctly called methane rather than carbon. And that scheme is completely exempt from the current emissions trading scheme, which has its own substantial flaws. The Green Party have always advocated for a carbon tax as the only sensible and clear way of actually identifying proportionately how much carbon is being emitted, charging on a fair basis for it, and it also works better for business, and it allows them to clearly and reliably price in the cost of carbon into their products and services. So that's what we've always advocated for, and the problem with an emissions trading scheme is that what you end up with is a system where there are whole industries that are exempted. Agriculture is a great example. Our Prime Minister, John Key, has rather hysterically referred to bringing agriculture, which is by far our greatest greenhouse gas emitter, into the ETS scheme as a dagger through the heart of growth. I directly quote him on that. But when you in fact look at how much the individual farmers would actually have to pay under that scheme, considering that they're getting 30-year highs as the commodity price for milk solids, which is how it's sold as kilos of milk powder, they get $8 per kilo, and they would have to pay 2 cents for every kilo. So that's 2 cents out of the $8 per kilo that they're currently receiving for the commodity of milk powder. So if that's a dagger through the heart of growth, then it seems that there's really little hope of the industry being brought in under the ETS.